Greetings, everyone. Catidamus here. We're here for round number 14, AOR America, and we have no engine noise once again. I love when it does that. Hey, there we go. We have engine noise again. Yippee! Hope everyone is having a wonderful Sunday evening. And if you had a chance, if you watched last week's broadcast, if you had a chance to watch any of the golf tournament held at Sea Island, the RSM Classic, I hope you enjoyed the coverage. If not, that is okay as well. Make sure my audio is working. It is indeed. We are on board with our championship leader here at Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgium Grand Prix. Camden Luca in the Williams on the outlap. Longest track on the F1 calendar, so a lap takes a minute on this one. Well, a little more than a minute, but... Ooh, Blinn Machine already retired from the session. That is not going to help the Force India chances of retaining their constructor's lead. Be starting from the back of the pack here. We will stay on board with the Williams as he goes around the bus stop and gets ready to start his first lap. Let's see what kind of tires everyone is deciding to go with on this one, and it looks like a good bit of people are on the softs. Get it to win it, of course, on the mediums. That man does like the medium tires. He seems to be quite quick on them as well. And we'll see how tire strategy plays out. Going through Radion and up Eau Rouge onto the Camel Straight. I believe that is in fact Radion. Quote the famous WTF1. That's Radion, actually. Into the chicane. Les Combes, as they call it. Getting ready to round Brussels. Switch of view here and ride on board with the man as he goes around a no-name corner. I believe it does have a name now, but I'm not sure what it is. So, no-name corner it is. Around Pouan. Ready to head into the campus. Okay, pretty tidy lap so far from our championship leader. What I hear, Adrian Lockdock has a lot of speed around here as he goes to Stavelon. Getting ready to build up the speed and go through Blanchimont. Able to do this flat out in 8th gear. It does look a little bit gray and cloudy. Not sure if that means there's a little bit of rain coming our way. Into the bus stop chicane, braking as late as you dare, trying to get a good exit. It looks like he has done so. What will the first time be? A 1:45.0. See who will be next. We'll ride on board here with the Alfa Romeo of Did Good, and if my eyes do not deceive me, it does look like it is raining a little bit. That is what I like to see. From a commentary side, not sure what that black spot is, and let's see what the Alfa Romeo can do here. Going, ooh, may have invalidated his lap. As you see there, going into the pits is the reserve driver, Lezak, in the Red Bull. Does look like Did Good may have invalidated that lap. Right on board here very quickly with the Force India of Aleti. Locking up, trying to hold it. Oopsie, yeah. Well, what happened there, my friend? Early exit. As Aleti sets a 1:45.7. Looks like the track is starting to get a little bit slippery out there. Perhaps we will see some people coming in for intermediate tires, perhaps. Oh, I've been there and done that. As Adria Lockdock does, in fact, go to the front with a 1:44.4. Good enough to hold the current pole position. In it to win it with a 1:45.3. Let's see who else we have going right now. Does look like it is about it. Alpha is getting ready to start another lap. Looks like a lot of people in the pits at the moment. So perhaps we could be seeing a change of tires. Let's see what the Red Bull of Get This or Die decides to do. Ooh, faked like he was going into the pits for a minute, so we will ride on board with the Red Bull here as he gets ready to start his flying lap, heading down into the source. Probably having to brake a little bit earlier. Definitely looks like the track is starting to get slick. Seeing some raindrops falling. Will anyone switch to intermediates? I don't think it's wet enough. Through Radion, up Eau Rouge, and on to the Camel Straight. I do believe DRS is, yes, DRS is still active. So it is not wet enough for that to be done yet. Into Les Combes, out of Les Combes. Turns 7, 8, and 9. Down the hill into Brussels. Very easy corner to lock up. I'm talking from experience on that one. Through No Name. Heading towards Pouan. See how brave he will be going around Pouan. Adra Lockdock leading the way right now. Let's see if we can pull up some... This is what I wanted. See if we can see what his time is looking like. I have a feeling it had to be out early here to get a good time in the way the track is looking, as we do have a yellow flag here in sectors 2 and 3. I don't know what the weather's like in the race. It won't let me see that, but right now I can see that the weather is a little bit iffy at the moment. Raindrops certainly falling. If you ask me, I'm hoping it's raining in the race. Camden Luca gets out of the way. It looks like Camden's going for a second flying lap right away. Very long time. It's going to be a very long track here, so definitely important to get as many laps in as possible, as Get This or Die sets a 1:45.3. Let's see who else we have. We hop on board here with WV Phil. He's going through Blanchimont and into the bus stop. What kind of time can the Haas set? Right now, 1:44.4, time to beat, and it looks like Phil sets a 1:48.6. AKA Carusi, on to the Camel Straight right now. Starting in inters and then dry. Okay. Well, I hope it stays on inters, but that's just me. That would explain why everyone is on the soft tires. Starting on inters, tire choice right now does not matter, because you can keep it on the track. Down into Brussels goes the man in the Mercedes. No Name corner. Heading to Pouan. Down into 6th gear just to get the traction. Going back up into 7th. Into the campus and into the hard right-hander of Stavelot. Running a little wide on exit, but able to keep it on a straight line as he builds up the speed, heading towards Blanchimont. We are still flat out in Blanchimont with no problem. Into the bus stop chicane. Pretty clean, kept the car in a straight line. What kind of time can Carusi set? Good enough for second with a 1:44.7. Knock over my router. It's nice. Let's see who is currently here on an out lap. Anybody on a flyer right now? It's like Fatal Experience in the Ferrari. Oh, nope. Just as I hop on board, he decides to abort that. Keep an eye here. Looks like Get It to Win It is just started his flying lap in the Toro Rosso, so let's hop on board with the man currently in 3rd place in the championship, looking to make up some ground. Camden Luca, who has been on an impressive run lately, back-to-back wins to extend his gap to 24 points over Adra Lockdock, and Get It to Win It in 3rd, 40 points back, so you know he's going to want to have a good race here and cut into that. We're only going to have 7 races left on the season after this. Did good in the Alpha, gets out of the way nicely. Toro Rosso goes into Brussels, staying in 5th gear, trying to minimize the wheel spin. No name. Decent through there, definitely trying to improve on his current time of a 145.3. Just to get up there and be battling with the McLaren and with the Mercedes and the Williams up at the front. Especially if it is going to be wet to start this race, you're going to want to start in front. You don't want to get caught up in any kind of chaos that can happen into the first corner. Through Radillon and up Eau Rouge, anything can happen. It goes through Blanchimont, flat out with no trouble, so the track is not wet enough yet for intermediate tires. But perhaps if the rain keeps up, we could see that. But can he set a 144.2? Good enough for first place at the moment. Let's hop on board with the Red Bull reserve driver of Lezuc. And let's see what kind of time this man can set. He heads through Blanchimont. The inside line, had to take his foot off the throttle a little bit. Instead of staying wide, cutting into the apex, he had to go to the inside. That cost him a little bit. He runs wide through the second part of the bus stop chicane. What kind of time can he set? He must have had a time invalidated, because it is no time. Let's go back on board here with Camden Luca, who looks like he has aborted this lap. RC has set a time of 144.9. That's good enough for 5th at the moment. As he goes through La Source. Oh, sorry, Le Con. La Source is the first corner. Yeah. Oh, a little bit of a lockup as he heads into Brussels. And that downhill right-hander, it's very easy to lock up as he runs a bit wide through No Name. Down into 6th gear, running a little bit wide through Pouan. It's like a bit of a sloppy lap here from RC. I'm guessing this will probably not improve on his time of a 144.9, but I've been known to be wrong a time or two in the past. Through the campus and into Stavelot. Turns 15 and 16. The slight bend of turn 17. Through Blanchimont, turn 18. Finally coming to the bus stop chicanes. Chicane turns 19 and 20. What kind of time? Nope, and he aborts. Into the pits he goes. So much for that one. Let's see how these medium tires work for Get This or Die. He'd be able to set a faster time than he could on the mediums. I used to find once in a while, yep, that does not look pretty tasty, but I was going to say was once in a while it actually paid to be on the middle set of tires when it was in these type of conditions. Katsana improved slightly with a 145.1. On board just to see the end of that. And Porsche is going into the pits. Oh, and there goes the wheel of the Alpha. McLaren F1 just got on that curb coming through Blanchimont, and there went the wheel. Who have we not ridden on board with much here? Let's watch Fatal Experience. Looks like he's going through Stavelot. The track definitely looks like it's starting to get a little more slippery. But are starting to lose it a little bit easier. I'm feeling times are not going to be coming down very much right now, as we are already at 2 minutes and 45 seconds left. So if you want to get another lap in, you better get out there right now. I don't think the pits are the place to be. It's unfortunately a Fatal Experience well down the order. Must have had a bit of an incident. As we're still waiting on some of the drivers to come out of the pits. We're still in there. Adrian Lockdock In it to win it, just coming out of the pits. I saw RC coming out of the pits as we are almost to 2 minutes to go. This qualifying session has just flown by. As need to be thinking about coming out of the pits here very shortly, as we have a train of cars coming out of the pits right now. It's like Adrian Lockdock out there, getting to win it out there. RC's out there, Get This or Die, and Letty are both still in the pits. I have a feeling they have missed their opportunity here. They're going to take what they have right now. So that is going to be very interesting to see if any of these guys can increase their position. Camden Luca has already set a couple laps on these soft tires. He's got enough life in these things, he may be able to get one more decent lap out of them. We shall find out in a moment. Right now, sitting in 4th place, definitely wants to improve, and he is going into the pits, so he will not be improving from 4th place. Adrian Lockdock with a little bit of a moment there, luckily on the outlap, so not pushing too hard. We have a brief yellow flag in Sector 1. But let's see what the Toro Rosso can do. Trying to get as good of a run as he can. Already at the top with a 144.2 as he heads down into the La Source. Quite nicely there on the power, nice and early as he approaches Radion. Let's see if he can stay flat out as he goes up Eau Rouge into the Camel Straight. Pretty close to it, I would say, if he wasn't. PRS is still active. I never saw anything as AKA Carusi won't be improving his position. Gonna have to hope that time holds up good enough for 3rd place at the moment, as times are now done. Camden Luca can do no better than 4th place, Katsana no better than 6th, and Aletti no better than 8th right now. So the Racing Points are gonna have some work to do if they want to maintain that slim lead that they have over McLaren right now. Let's see what that lead is. It is only 4 points over McLaren, so we could be seeing a change to the Constructors' Championship before this is all out. Right now, we are going to stay on board with the man who has the current pole position with a time of 144.285. Just 2 full tenths over Adrian Lockdock. These are the two that are battling it out right now. RC still in with a chance. Get This or Die still in with a chance to improve. We will see. Fatal Experience has improved that time. Kind of down to a 145.8. As he heads into the pits, he is satisfied where he is right now, which is 9th. And not look like Get It to Win It was able to improve that time, so now it is coming down to Adrian Lockdock. As RC has crossed the line, moved himself up into 4th, moving Camden Luca down 1 position. This is a man we're keeping the eye on. Can he beat the time of a 144.2? And what is he going to have? A 144.198. Good enough for pole position. Get This or Die. Can he do anything about it? In the Red Bull here. Running a little wide on the second part of the apex of the bus stop. I don't think that's going to help it too much. Up to the line and unable to improve. So that is going to be that. Adrian Lockdock in the McLaren, taking pole position away from Get It to Win It in the Toro Rosso at the last moment. AKA Carusi lining up in 3rd with the other McLaren of RC lining up in 4th place. That is going to do it. As Porsche goes into the pits, WV Phil is in the pits. Blinn Machine, Chisholm, McLaren F1 all retired from this session. And was able to set a decent time though. But it's this man, 2nd place in the championship, lining up 1st on the grid, Adrian Lockdock. run down the order real quick. Adrian Lockdock at the top in the McLaren. Get it to win it, lining up in second. In the Toro Rosso, a.k.a. Carusi, in the Mercedes, lining up in third. The other McLaren of RC in fourth. Our championship leader, Camden Luca, in the Williams, down in fifth place. Kitsana in the Haas, finally getting comfortable with that setup, lining up in sixth. Get This or Die in the Red Bull in seventh. Aletti 88 in the Racing Point in eighth. Fatal Experience in the Ferrari in ninth. And Porsche 19 in the Toro Rosso, lining up in 10th. That is your top 10. And I hear we are going to have some wet weather, or at least intermediate weather, to start this race. So that shall be very interesting to see. But we shall see. And yes, indeed, it is raining. Enough for intermediate tires, as a couple cars, if you look to the left there, seem to be doing a little bunny hopping. They are excited. You can definitely tell that must be Lando Norris's McLaren. Doing some headbanging at the front. Don't know who that would be in the Mercedes. Probably Lewis. I can't imagine Valtteri Bottas doing that. Lewis would strike me as doing some headbanging back in his younger days. As the clock is counting down and we are getting ready to start the formation lap. And yes, indeed. Let's pull up some information. Let's see. Don't care. Want to see. Everybody's on the intermediates. As Adrian Lockdock decides just to wait on the grid patiently. Get it to win it, lining up in second. Carusi in the Mercedes, lining up in third. In fourth is the other McLaren of RC. Camden Luca in the Williams in fifth. Kitsana in the Haas in sixth. Get This or Die in the Red Bull in seventh place. Aletti 88 lining up in eighth. Fatal Experience in the Ferrari lining up in ninth. Porsche 19 in the Toro Rosso lining up in 10th. McLaren F1 in the Alfa Romeo in 11th place. Lezuc in the Red Bull lining up in 12th. The other Haas of WV Phil in 13th. Did good in the other Alfa Romeo lining up in 14th. Blind Machine in the Racing Point in 15th. And Chisholm in the Mercedes lining up in 16th. I think this is a man to watch back here in 15th. Blind Machine has proven he is a quick driver, and he could be making a charge up the field if he can keep his nose clean at the start of this race. But our leader, waiting patiently on the grid for everyone to reform, is the McLaren of Adrian Lockdock. Adrian Lockdock. Let's see what kind of strategy is going to play out in this race. I have a feeling it's going to depend on how long we are on these intermediate tires. As you can see, the rain coming in sideways from this view. But it is raining pretty good. A lot more than it was in qualifying. Let's hide that up on my screen as well. Thank you very much. As we wait a while for them to come around on the formation lap. Again, this is the longest track on the Formula One calendar, and it takes a while to do a lap around here, but it is at the same time a very quick track. You are on the throttle for a good bit of the lap. So as we get ready to reform the grid and start this race, round number 14, only because we had 1 week where we did Abu Dhabi early, so we are technically one round ahead of all the European leagues. As the Red Bull reforms onto the grid, and the rest of the cars behind him, we are going to get ready to start a wet Belgian Grand Prix here at Spa-Francorchamps. I really wish you would give me a different camera view to start, cameraman. You're either giving me this or you're giving me that. Neither of them I don't really like. There we go. That's a much better one, as Chisholm takes his place at the back of the grid. And we are going to have some lights coming on and our lights going out, and we will get ready to start this race. Round R14 of the Belgian Grand Prix. 4 lights, 5 lights are on, and they are off. That was a quick hold. Looks like Camden Luca got a great start in the Williams, going right around Carusi as they are wheel to wheel as they go through La Source. Looked pretty clean. Looked like somebody went a little wide there. I couldn't tell who that was. It looked like it was Carusi's dropping back down the grid, but Camden Luca getting another rocket start as Get It to Win It leads him down the Camel Straight. I don't know if this is where you want to be with the slipstream, as Victor Lockdock goes to the inside, around the inside of the Toro Rosso, as clean as you like. Why did I just close that? That was stupid. It looks like Camden Luca has been passed by RC. Camden Luca dropped another place. As we head into Puon, Katsana is also up a place right now. Going a little bit wide through Puon. As you see at the front, Victor Lockdock able to pull out a gap of a 1.5 seconds as the Toro Rosso has dropped back a little bit. And Lockdock's teammate RC in the other McLaren is right behind him. As it looks like we have some yellow flags in the background. What is that for? As we have a Red Bull of Get This or Die. Looks like he got a little loose coming around Puon. As Letty has gotten a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. He has jumped all the way up. Ooh, and he goes wide, and he is going to get passed by multiple cars there. And I said keep your eye on Blend Machine. Oh, is that Camden Luca? It did indeed look like Camden Luca, who is sideways, as we have a virtual safety car here, as a lot of things are happening on the end of that first lap, more than I could keep up with. Went to go see one crash, and multiple crashes happened, as Fatal Experience is up 5 positions, all the way up into 4th place, so good for him. And now that gap at the front has come down a bit, as we are under a VSC at the moment. A lot of action happening here on lap 1. Multiple cars into the pits. Chisholm already out of this race as we go back to green, and McLaren of Adrian Lockdock got away nicely as Kitsana looks like he got past Carusi as they head down the hill. Ooh, little wheel-to-wheel action right there between Fatal Experience and I believe that was Carusi. A little wheel bumping back there, as Camden Luca is trying to make the places back up, is now in 8th place after the spin in the bus stop chicane. This is what I am guessing from what I saw, going a bit wide, entering Puon, as Porsche has left the session. So we have 2 runners already out, actually 3 runners, did good, also out of this race right now. So 3 runners out of this race at the moment. Our championship leader all the way back here in 8th place. The man chasing him is starting to run away. Has a 1.6 second lead, as Camden Luca has gotten by the Racing Point of Aletti, but Aletti is all over the back as they head into Blanchimont. He takes slight evasive action there, going a bit wide. Gonna make a move down into the bus stop. Not quite close enough to be able to make a move at the moment. He's going to try to stay as close as he can to that Williams and perhaps get by up at the Camel Straight. Actually close enough to make a move down into La Source. Not quite. He can get a good enough exit though. Stay on the back of the gearbox of the Williams. He might be able to make a move as Carusi has gone into the pits. Most likely has some kind of damage, as Camden Luca ran a bit wide. I have a feeling we are going to see some penalties from some track exploration here. as they are side by side heading down into Le Combe. Who is going to come out on top? Camden Luca is able to stay in front of the Racing Point. We have a great battle shaping up here right now for 5th, 6th, 7th, even 8th, as Blinn Machine is not far behind. WV Phil has worked himself up into the top 10 since Carusi has pitted early. Blinn Machine up 7 places. I said keep your eye on that man in the Racing Point. He is known to be a quick driver, so we're going to keep an eye on these gaps at the front. But right now, these are the battles shaping up. Closest battles on track right now. Camden Luca right behind the Ferrari of Fatal Experience. Can he find a way by? Not quite through there. He may have a look coming out of Stavelot. We get ready to head into Blanchimont. He might be able to get close enough to make a move. I am not sure. Very few spots you can really make a realistic move around this track. If you're brave enough, you may be able to go late on the brakes going into the bus stop chicane, but it's going to be a difficult ask in these conditions. This Fatal Experience got that bus stop chicane all wrong. And that allows Camden Luca to get by, and now back up into 5th place, where he started this race, now trying to chase down the Haas of Kitsana, who has just gone through the source. Get it to win it. Has been passed by RC, so right now we have a McLaren 1-2 and a Toro Rosso in 3rd. Can I not mute this? Yeah, it is muted. Well, it wasn't showing up as muted, but it is. As I need a bit of a drink here, as the action has been fast and furious through these first 3 laps, as Get This or Die now sets the fastest lap of the race. That is always nice to see, someone else getting a fastest lap. Now he just needs to get back up into the top 10. That is his next goal, as Carusi has gotten by WV Phil. And Blinn Machine has gotten by Oletti, as we are watching that battle for 2nd. And let's see if Blinn Machine can get past the Ferrari of Fatal Experience and try to get back behind. Does RC have damage? I don't know. Let's go on board. It's hard to tell from that camera view. It looks like his wing is all there. So it might just be the conditions. It is very hard to say, as it actually does look like it is stopped raining at the moment. Definitely drying up, so I don't think we're going to be too far from going on to slick tires here. I have a feeling these inters are starting to overheat a little bit. As an Alfa Romeo just comes out of the pit. I believe that was McLaren F1 just coming out. This Fatal Experience has dived into the pits. Perhaps are we going to see some... Whoa! My, that was a big moment. And that is enough for Get It to Win It to get by right there. See what kind of tires we're looking at. Is yes, a couple people have switched over. Half my microphone just cut out, or half my headset. Quite disconcerting. There we go. Oh, it's back. As RC, I believe these tires are really starting to overheat right now. I think we are very close to going on to dry tires, as we've seen a couple people go on to them. Looks like Fatal Experience, Carusi, and it's just I was going to say his name, Lezouk, but it looks like he is unfortunately out of the race. But I do have a feeling we are going to be seeing these guys come in for some slick tires here at the end of this lap. I think that's what you want to be on. It looks like they are having some issues keeping these tires cool right now, and let's see if our leader does in fact go into the pits, and I believe yes he is. And now the question is, what kind of tire strategy do you want to go with? As Get It to Win It had a bit of a moment there. It allows RC to be able to get by again, as these two are having a nice little battle back and forth. One makes a mistake and the other gets by. Now, how is this going to work for the McLaren boys? Are they going to be able to get that car out in time and get out of the way and get him in? Oh, it looks like they double stacked pretty decently considering this game. And I thought he was going back onto inters for just a moment, but double stacking of the pit stop does allow Get It to Win It to get by, as everyone is coming into the pits to change onto slick tires. So my wires have gotten all tangled up at the moment. How has that happened? What in the world has happened here? How is this even possible? What in the graces? Pardon me for just one moment. There'll be a moment of silence as I untangle all my cords that have somehow gotten all tangled up. There we go. That's better. Sorry about that. I'm not sure how that happened, but my headset cord got wrapped up into my PlayStation cord. That was a new one. But anyway, we are now on to slick tires, so the question is, how long will these last? It looks like AOR, the only one to go on to the softest tire. Everyone else seems to have gone on to the medium. Kitsana up into 4th place. Good for Kitsana. Blend Machine, though, our biggest mover, up 9 positions. Let's go back to... Let's see, we have another virtual safety car. For what I am not really sure, but that is our second one in 6 laps. So that is quite interesting, as everyone is off of intermediate tires. So we're down to 11 runners. Looks like this may be a survival race. If you can stay in this race, you may get some points. We shall see what happens. Plug that in for a moment. That is better. One less cord I gotta worry about now. As I wish I knew how long the virtual safety car was going to last. It seemed like it can be too much longer. This is, right now, Adriel Octop has stretched that gap out to 11 seconds right now. Oh, as Get This or Die gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC, as we are back to green flag racing. We are away. Not seen any notification of DRS being activated quite yet. Blend Machine, who started down at 15th, is all the way up into 6th position, so Get It to Win It gets a 3-second time penalty. This race may come down to penalties. We will see. Letty 88, I believe that was Letty's second 5-second penalty, so I think that's not 10 seconds of penalties for the Racing Point driver. We will check that shortly and see where we're at on penalties, as we do have a yellow flag here in Sector 2. Stay on board with RC and see if we can see what that is for. No idea what that is for, but brief yellow flag for a moment, but it has gone away, as the gaps are starting to spread out a little bit right now. Get It to Win It has cut that gap down under 9 seconds, so it was around 11 seconds earlier. But we'll see if he's just maybe trying to conserve these tires a little bit, or what is going on, or just Get It to Win It is that fast on these tires. I have a feeling we are going to start seeing some fastest laps coming in all over the place. Get It to Win It now with the fastest lap. Yep, These times will be coming down in a hurry. Guys, you guys can pull 6 points. That's all I need you to pull. Blinn Machine now with the fastest lap. Wonder when DRS will be activated. It can't be too far off. Yep, these times are dropping fast. The 151 a moment ago, now we're down to a 149. So I have a feeling we are going to see this track getting faster and faster, especially as the fuel gets dropping. Stella Artois is a very tasty beer. Not sponsored by Stella Artois in any way, but I wish I was. As RC makes his way around Pouan, the gap to get it to win it is 2 seconds. Get it to win it has taken out another second on that gap to the McLaren in front of him. He is in that McLaren sandwich, but I don't think he wants to be for much longer. If he can keep cutting that gap down, these tires start going off. I'm not exactly sure what the tire wear is going to be like here. If it was anything like past games, I believe it was fairly harsh tire wear here, so I'm feeling we'll see a lot of these guys making one more stop. Perhaps soft to medium or mediums to soft, as Get It to Win It does set a fastest lap of a 148.5. Lap times are tumbling down. Adrian Lockdock heads down the Camel Straight with a 7.5 second lead. The Camden Luca is closing up on the Haas of Kitsana. Closest on-track battle we currently have right now, so we will stay on board with our championship leader. And we shall see if he can get back up into 4th place. Not the race he wanted to have. He does have a bit of a cushion. See exactly what that is at the moment. 24-point cushion right now, but after winning back-to-back races, he does not want to be back here fighting for 4th and 5th place. He'd rather be up at the top fighting for 1st. We shall see what he can do. He has shown some great speed and consistency over these last few races, and he is going to need to put down some qualifying laps, as unfortunately Aletti retires from the race. That is unfortunate. Let's ride on board with Phil for a moment and see if we can see where the stricken racing point is. He's not past him yet. We will keep an eye and see if we can see where the accident was. I'm not quite sure. It must have been up at the top of Eau Rouge, as he just gained a position there. So WV Phil into 9th right now, as we are down to 9 runners, almost half the field that we started with. They are dropping like flies here. I've not seen any indication that DRS, like everybody's struggling a little bit here, having a few issues this evening with traction. We've lost almost half the field. But we still have a lot of racing to go, so we shall see what happens. Camden Luca still trying to chase down the Haas of Kitsana. Gets close, and then that gap increases again. Gap at the front, 8.3 seconds. So a lot of time to be made up here from Getting It to Win It. Really don't have very many close on-track battles at the moment. We'll ride on board with the current leader, as now the sun is shining here at Belgium. That track should be completely dry by this point. I have a feeling we are just going to see these lap times keep tumbling. See what kind of time. Spun, drive through, wrong tires. Oh, I know that pain. 147.7. This is a unforgiving track at times. As Camden Luca has picked up a 5-second penalty. We have quite a few penalties right now as Carusi is out of this race. So now officially we have lost half the field from this race, and we are down to just 8 runners. So this is it's like this could be a race for survival. If you finish the race, we might be down to 3 finishers at that. We're not even halfway through this race right now, and we've lost half the field. Wouldn't it be something if we only had 3 finishers? That would be interesting. Wouldn't be very entertaining, but it'd be interesting. Right now, we really just don't have any close on-track battles. I guess that's what you get when you have a track that is this long. Cars tend to get very spread out, so it's tough to get some close racing like we did last week at Hungary, where we had a lot of cars right on top of each other. Now that gap here at the front is 9.3 seconds. So right now, Adriel Lockdock is in complete control of this race. The question is, how long will these tires last to be able to go on to the mediums for the end of this race, I would think. Let's take a look. Well, we don't have any close battles going on. Let's take a look at some incidents and time penalties. WV Phil has a 5-second penalty. Aletti, who is retired, with a penalty. Aletti with another penalty, but retired. Aletti with a penalty. 10 seconds for exceeding track limits. That's harsh. Get it to win it. 3-second penalty. Let's focus on the guy still in this. Blin Machine with a 3-second penalty. Camden Luca with a 5-second penalty. And Fatal Experience with a 3-second penalty. So, you know, a safety car right now would be kind of nice, because at least it would bring the field back together. Because right now, 9.4 seconds separates 1 and 2. A further 3 seconds back to RC in 3rd place. Kitsana in the Haas, 9 seconds behind, running in 4th place right now. Camden Luca in 5th, 2.2 seconds behind the Haas. Did not get close enough to be able to get by that Haas. Kitsana, who already has a couple 4th place finishes this year, would like to get a little bit closer and try to make it a podium. You'll experience back here in the Ferrari. I'm ready to go around Pouan. And we just don't have very many close battles in the 8 cars we have left right now. Blin Machine 2.3 seconds behind Camden Luca. 2 very quick drivers back here in 5th and 6th place right now. I know they want to be a little bit higher up, but Blin Machine started this race down in 15th place, so this is an excellent comeback for the Racing Point, with only a 4-second points margin in the Constructors' Championship. If it stays like this, McLaren will be on top as we head into Italy after this race. We are on lap 13 of 22. We're halfway through this race already. The machine's starting to close down that gap to Camden Luca. Maybe we could see a bit of a battle here. Now this is our closest on-track battle. 0.3 seconds behind. He is closing that gap down fairly quickly. Far back, I'm sure he's still getting a little bit benefit of the slipstream. He is closing up on that Williams. Looking to make it an even at 10 places. He has moved up Can he do it? 9.3 seconds the gap at the front still, so until AOR Lockdock goes into the pits and comes back out into traffic, probably be coming out right around where Kitsana is, ahead of these two. Camden Luca is losing more and more time to Kitsana in front. I'm not sure if Camden Luca may have a bit of an issue, maybe perhaps a damaged front wing. It did look like the left end plate was missing. See if we can get a slight, yes indeed. That end plate is in fact missing, so that is why he's losing time and Blinn Machine is catching up. The understeer is definitely having an effect. I wonder how long that has been like that. Missing a few laps now because it's been losing time to the car in front and the car behind has been rapidly closing. And it does look like DRS is finally active. Not sure, must have missed the notification of that popping up, but I definitely saw that there. So let's see, in the Racing Point, get a good enough run down the Camel Straight. Looked like a really good exit. Looks a lot closer right now. DRS is open to the outside of the Williams. Heading into Les Combes. Indeed gets the job done and mows a little bit of grass at the same time. That is quite handy. The question is, when will Camden Luca pit, get that front wing repaired, down into 6th place? So let's take a look at our biggest movers at the moment. Definitely Blinn Machine moving up 10 places. WV Phil up 5. Camden Luca down a place, the 2 staying where they started. RC up a place onto the last podium spot right now. The question is, when will the lead McLaren have to go into the pits for a new front wing? Or excuse me, when will Camden Luca have to go in for a new front wing? And when will the McLaren have to go in for some new tires? I don't think those soft tires are going to last to the end. As we are on lap 15 of 22 right now. Feeling it won't be long. Still looks pretty confident on these tires at the moment, I have to say. Really wish I could see a tire wear indicator. This Blinn Machine has come into the pits. What tier is this? This is AOR America division. It's all one tier. It's a mix of assist and non-assist drivers. Unlike the European leagues, we didn't have enough to do different tiers, so it is all one. Send you a message? Send you a message where? Interested? Yeah, you can, there's a, if you go to the AOR forums, there is a, America division and the, PS4 league. A lot of people I work with, why are they so, what's the best word I'm looking for? Not smart. Anyway, the McLaren of AOR Lockdock with a commanding 9.8 second lead at the moment, as WV Phil now is out of this race. And we are down to just 7 racers. So this is a, we have lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have lost 9 people from this race that started on in intermediate conditions and is now dry. This is weird that we're only down to 7 racers. I'm seeing more gray than I am actual racers at this point. This is definitely a first. But hey, some good points on order for those who do finish at this point. Blend Machine now 1 lap down. Really has some work to do on these fresh soft tires. I think a lot of people have said that, Phil. I think a lot of people have said that. And it's been a rough race for a lot of people, judging by the amount of grayed out cars that have already retired from this race. Who can survive? I said we might be down to 3 cars by the end of this race. Might just be the top 3. As the McLaren does now come into the pits, what tires will he choose? Where will he come out? That is the biggest question at this point. Is Guinness to win it will inherit the lead with RC right behind him. Sana 11 seconds behind. I was just trying to make it to the end. Oh, I know. Yep. I think everybody was. And where will he come out? Yes, in front of Kitsana. He's going to have some work to do. Going to have to pass his teammate and the Toro Rosso of Guinness to win it in order to get back into the lead. He is 9 seconds behind the Toro Rosso in first right now. So Major Lockdock is definitely going to have some work to do. As Blend Machine setting fastest laps, I have a feeling that is going to be demolished by the pace that the McLaren has right now. Once you get these tires up to temperature, I have a feeling we are going to see some racing. To give me something to talk about, because there has not been much close racing around here. There's been more crashes than close racing, unfortunately, this week. Trying to catch up to his teammate. Who is that in front of him? Is that one? Who is that in front of him? Go into this view for a second. He is already making up time to his teammate. Gap now is about 8 seconds to the Toro Rosso in front. I have a feeling the first 2 cars are not going to be coming in for fresh tires. We are on lap 18 of 22. 5 laps to go, counting this one. So, I have a feeling that they are going to make those tires last. No track is easy, Phil. No track is easy, at least in my opinion. But then again, I'm not very good these days because I just commentate. I don't race. So to me, nothing is easy. You put me on Gran Turismo Sport, yeah, I'm fine. Put me on this game, Can't race to save my life on this game. That gap is coming down quick. I have a feeling in about 2 laps we are going to be seeing a battle forming. RC is going around Puan as we speak. He shall see his teammate. He's going around the campus section. And into Stavolo in front of him. Got to give him some hope. He is about 7.5 seconds. And maybe 8. Not even 7.5 seconds. That's 7 seconds behind Guinness to win it, so that time is coming down. The question is, are there enough laps left? The machine closing up on Fatal Experience, so it's like we are going to have a pass, ladies and gentlemen. We could have a pass. We have not seen 2 cars battling each other in quite a while. This Fatal Experience runs a little bit wide coming from Stabilo. The Racing Point getting a great run through Blanchimont. He's going to be close enough to make a move going into the bus stop. Will he risk it? No, he's not quite. Might try to get a slightly better exit to the inside coming out of the second part of the bus stop chicane. Experience gets a good exit though and stays in front. Down into La Source, he may have to wait to go down the Camel Straight to get this move done. We'll keep an eye on the gaps at the front, but right now this is our closest battle. We've not seen many cars going by lately. We're passing each other, so let's stay on board with whatever battle we have. DRS is active, so does he have enough? I don't think he's going to be close enough. No, he is not, as they head into Lacombe. Ooh, he gets mighty close. Can he make a move down the downhill or into Brussels? Not quite close enough. 19 of 22 right now. That gap between second and third is under 2 seconds. Gap to the front is 5.5 seconds, so that gap is coming down. I just don't know if there's enough laps left. Wind machine getting closer and closer to the Ferrari in front of him. Can he make a move? He's got a lot of battery left. Right on the back of the Ferrari as they go through Blanchimont. Approaching the bus stop. Still not close enough to make a move, but the Ferrari dips a wheel on the grass and has to back out of it. So the Racing Point does get by. Now let's go back up to this battle for second and third. As the gap is now down to 5 seconds to the lead, with 3 laps to go as they go down the right-hander of Brussels and through No Name. Gonna have a McLaren battle here for second and third. 14-lap-old mediums versus 3-lap-old softs. I know who my money's on this one. Let's see. As we've seen, cars will get close, but they have a hard time passing. Let's see if the lockdock can get the move done. He is closing on his teammate. Gotta get by his teammate. And then he has 2 laps to get by. We have 2 laps to go now. This is going to be a tough ask to make up this kind of time. It's awfully close to his teammate. Had to get on the brakes a little more than he wanted just to avoid the contact, to keep that wing intact. Through Radion and up Eau Rouge. Down the Camel Straight. RC runs a little bit wide. It looks like Andrew Lockhart is going to be by just before the DRS was even active. Now he has his set sight on the Toro Rosso. He has got to put down 2 amazing laps to get onto the back of that Toro Rosso, or get it to win it, will take home the victory. I think it's pretty safe to assume Camden Luca will not be making 3 in a row this week. He'll be bringing down that championship gap slightly. One thing I can say with certainty is definitely we will have a new constructors leader, with McLaren taking that top spot from Racing Point, as there was only a 4-point gap. Right now, Blinn Machine is the only remaining Racing Point, and he is back there in 6th place, so definitely going to be seeing the new team at the top of the constructors. 4.4 seconds now the gap. Just a lap, about a lap and a third left, so this is going to have to be an amazing last lap by the McLaren. But I just don't think he's going to have it. I think, barring any kind of mistake, we'll ride on board here with the leader as he crosses the line and gets ready to start lap 22 down into Lesource. And a perfect strategy call going onto these medium tires, making them last. And it looks like he is going to have no issues getting these to the end of the race. As the McLaren decided to go for the soft strategy after the rain. Looks like that might have been the difference in this race, was the strategy call. He goes through Lake Home for the last time. And down Brussels one last time. One more time through No Name. 3.6 seconds the gap. Definitely not going to get it done through Pouan. Although getting to win it does have a 3-second penalty. So I believe it was a 3-second penalty, but I still don't think that the McLaren is going to be close enough at the end of this lap for that to make a difference. Barring any kind of mistake here, which unless he drops a wheel on the grass, clips the inside of the curb coming through Blanchimont, or completely misses his braking point going into the bus stop. He has done neither of those things. It's like clean as you like through the bus stop chicane for one last time, getting ready to cross the line. And that should be good enough even with the penalty. Yes, indeed, get it to win it in the Toro Rosso. Major Lockdock does take fastest lap for that extra point. And RC crosses the line in third. Kitsana, they're going to cross the line in the Haas in fourth place. Fourth place of the year, I believe. Our championship leader, Camden Luca, has to be quite disappointed in this race. Only coming home in what's going to be fifth place, it looks like. And Blend Machine in the Racing Point will be coming home in sixth. And finally, Fatal Experience in the Ferrari coming home in seventh place. Those are our finishers right there. 7 cars out of 16 finished this race. That is something I didn't think I would be saying. Get it to win it in the Toro Rosso, standing at the top step of the podium with Adrian Lockdock in second, followed by RC7 in third. It is a double podium for McLaren. They must be feeling pretty good, but although I'm sure Adrian Lockdock is kicking himself for not going on to the medium tires on that first pit stop. But either way, that has been round number 14, the Belgian Grand Prix for AOR America, the PS4 division. We will run it down one last time before we leave you. Get it to win it in the Toro Rosso, coming home in first. Adrian Lockdock in the McLaren in second. RC coming home in third in the other McLaren. Kitsana in the Haas in fourth. Camden Luca in the Williams in fifth. Blend Machine in sixth place in the Racing Point. In Fatal Experience in the Ferrari. In seventh are non-finishers. Eighth place WV Phil, a.k.a. Carusi, Aleti 88, Get This or Die, Luzuc, McLaren F1, Did Good, Porsche 19, and Chisholm were our non-finishers. I've been Caddy Damas. Thank you for joining me, and I hope everyone has a great week and a great Thanksgiving. And we will see you at the Italian Grand Prix. Thank you very much, and good night.